All right. So
So like I told y'all,
why don't you want to be here?
Cause the teachers hate me, or the kids hate me. I don't get along with the teachers. I do my work, just I can't focus. And now I feel like I don't get along with nobody at the school. And I feel like if I go to Franklin, where's more Minneapolis, like the teachers, I get along with the teachers well.
Mm-hmm.
I can like work with them better, do my work better, meet new people. I might like or I might not like.
Right. Sounds like you've been thinking about it for a while.
Yes.
And how much have you
I've been
talked
telling
to?
my mom this. I could call my mom right now and ask her like, Mom, can we please get me transported to another school? After like, she was like, Nah, just wait till after this year. I'm like, Mom, I can't wait till after this year. I can't do this school no more. I tell her this every day.
And what is it about the school that makes you want to leave?
Teachers. It just when I step in the room at LCC, I just like get so annoyed, like just so like pissed off and just so mad and just full of rage. I'm never like that. It's just
Right. I hear you.
the people in there. I just like when I see them, I just get like it's just I don't know. I just got an instant just like I don't know. It's hard. I'm not like that. No, I'm cool. I'm chill most of the time. Just when I step in that room, I'm just so mad. It's probably just because I'm in the LCC all day. Any kid wouldn't like that.
So you think your frustrations come from the LCC room?
A lot.
Is it the restrictions or is it just being in the room?
Both. Even before the restrictions, I used to still hate it.
Really?
I mean, it's not that bad.
What is the worst part about it?
Teachers.
What about?
It's better. That's the worst part about it. That's the worst part about it. I'm finally I get to talk to somebody who actually understands. You. Not much here.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I do get it. I definitely understand. I get all sides. I get the teacher side. I get your side. I just get all sides. The main thing for me is if you change schools, right? We change the situation, put you in a different environment. What do you think you would change in regards to
Just stop being a hothead and like I'm not a hothead just when I step in the room. Just like relax more, like just don't try to start nothing with nobody. Just stay to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stay by myself a lot. I try to mess with too much people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like get me in my stuff and I get caught up with different stuff.
Right. Yeah, lately you've been in a lot of back and forth with a lot of people.
Too many.
The beautiful thing is this: you actually recognize the things that you need to get better at. I mean, that's the first step to change, right? One, you got to recognize it. Two, you got to own it. You know, and a lot of times, kids or people in general, we make excuses for our behaviors.
I do too.
Right? I do too. You know, my biggest thing, I procrastinate a lot. Right? I procrastinate a lot on a lot of things. And then when things happen, I make excuses as to why I procrastinated. Right? So, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you. I do things too. But I'm owning it. Right? Like, I recognize, like, that's my flaw. I'm owning it. And now I'm trying to change it. Am I 100% better at it? No. But I'm making improvements on it in certain areas of my life. Right? So, I mean, for you, that's just what it comes down to, too, doing the same thing. Like, thank you, Joy. And he's here until 2nd Block.
Oh, at a gym.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was from yesterday.
Yep, that's already been locked, so I just forgot personally.
Oh, man.
Okay.
So yeah.
Anybody else? Did somebody take Brianna?
Yeah, Brianna's going.
She go to class.
Yeah, I think she went to class. Mr. Ware actually came in and talked to her.
Beautiful.
So.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I'll take her out of the block.
Okay.
I just put her in there. I know she won't stay in there, but I like put her in there so whoever's in here just knows.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, kid. All right, back to you. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, just owning it, right? You've owned it. You recognize it. Now the next step is to do what?
Get better.
Get better. And you got to remember one thing. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. You are not going to be perfect, young man.
I know I said that too. But
Nobody is going to be perfect. The goal is just to get better. School, if it's academics, just get better. You ain't an A student, so what? Not a B student, who cares? Be you. And try to be a better you. That's what it's all about. If your behavior's been off the last year or so, next year, let's get better. And then the following year, just keep getting better. You know what I
my
mean?
behavior in classrooms is about really off. I just get distracted. I talk to kids.
Mm-hmm.
In classrooms, it's not really off. When I'm with my friends, you know, I like to joke around. We
Right.
have fun. Everybody, like, when you with your friends, you like to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'd probably do it like overboard when I'm like.
There it is.
Everybody joking. When they around their friends, they have like a different side. Not a different side, but like, you know, they.
Everybody like to joke.
What you say?
I love to joke around with my friends. But I also know when it's time to what?
What?
It's time to relax. And you gotta know like the temp. You gotta read people's temperature, right? You know what I mean by that?
Mm.
Like you gotta be able to like sense like how somebody's feeling. So if I go up, if I see you not in a good mood, right? I'm looking at, I can read your body language. I'm looking at you. I'm like, yeah, T just ain't feeling it today. Then I know right now is not the time to joke with you. Even if me and you usually joke around, I know right now your temperature is like, yeah, you not in the mood. I'm gonna leave you alone for now. Then once you get back into a state of mind where I'm like, yeah, he's ready. Now me and you can probably joke around because I know you're gonna receive it the way that I'm really trying to give it out. You're not gonna take it the wrong way.
Right.
I think sometimes when y'all joke around,
I feel like I do that too much. Like, I don't like. I joke around with my friends.
mm-hmm,
We'll be doing it too much. Like, I wouldn't recognize it and I just keep on going.
keep
like,
on going. Yeah.
Because I don't really recognize, or sometimes I do recognize that or just really don't care.
Really don't care. Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
That's
I'm not saying like that. I'm just like,
No, that's true. Sometimes you don't care. But again, you recognize it. Now you just fix it. Just
yeah,
fix it.
people tell me that a lot.
What they tell you?
Like, yeah, when you like playing real with people, you're like overboard and make people mad. You just don't recognize that,
Right.
or you just go over the limit with it. And like,
Yeah.
I had to recognize, I just started recognizing. I'm like, yeah, I really gotta improve in that area.
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, if you ain't in the mood, you don't want people bothering you all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're not in the mood, it's like, yeah, leave me alone. Now is not the time. You know, so sometimes just put yourself in other people's shoes. And then it's easier to understand how people are feeling. Sometimes you just got to reverse the roles a little bit. But you're doing a good job of recognizing everything, man. Like, you get it. You definitely get it. And I'm not really as mad with you, like, wanting to change schools. I'm really not mad about that because you're able to identify reasons that you want to do it and why it may be beneficial to you. What I will say is, whatever the circumstance is for you, though, like, if you are in a place where you're in a school that you don't want to be in or you're in a situation that you don't want to be in, first find out if you can control it. And if you can't control it, if you can't control it, then you gotta adjust. right? So let's just say right now you don't want to be here. You've been wanting to leave. You've been asking your mom to leave, but it hasn't happened, right? So obviously you have no control over that. Right? You can't control what school you go to right now. There's no control over just none. So now the question is, okay, if you're going to be here, you have to adjust to what this school is asking you to do. If you go to Franklin, you have to adjust to what Franklin's going to ask you to do. Because trust me, the grass ain't always greener on the other side, and there's going to be a new set of rules there too. Right? So obviously you've identified all the positive things you like in that school, but there's going to be things there too that you're probably not going to like. And
Right.
if that happens, you have to do what? Adjust. Like whatever it is. So here, while you're here, just adjust to what we're asking you to do here. And then if you are fortunate enough to change schools, then adjust to what you can do over there. And if you do that, you can adjust and then identify the things that you need to get better at. Now you work your way into that school. So now you're doing what the school is asking you to do. You're changing yourself, and now you fit into that environment. But if you only get one set of change, and if you just change the school, but you're still doing what you're doing, I mean, we don't accomplish anything. You know what I mean? Like nothing is accomplished if you go somewhere else and then you stay the same. Because
I really want to go to that new school because, like, I have a new reputation. People want to know me. I can start from the ground up. It's like, at this school, most people know me. They're like, oh, that's Tevin. He's a little boy. He thinks he all that.
Right,
He
right.
thinks he's tough.
Understood. Yeah.
And, like, I can go there. People won't know me. I could, like, just build a new, better reputation. People. I mean, I don't really want friends. I don't really need them. Like,
You don't want friends, you don't need friends.
I mean, it's cool to have people around you hanging out. But, like, I don't really need that. Like,
Do you have a ton of friends now?
I talk to a lot of people.
You talk to a lot of people, but you don't have a lot of
Two or
friends.
three friends in school, but I really talk to most like everybody in school. So
So outside of the school,
I have friends too.
you have people that you actually like hang out with outside of school, spend time with,
Yeah.
go to if you like need to talk about something. How many friends can you consider like outside of the school?
Oh, like 6.
6 people? That's a lot. You got 6 good friends, and you're in a good spot.
People who actually care about me. My one friend from Texas, he sent me a pair of shoes, these shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he moved, but like this Christmas, he sent me these pairs of shoes, and I messed them up. But
Oh, good. Some Kyrie's?
Like, we still talk to each other too, like twice a month.
Good. Yeah, surround yourself with good people, man. Surround yourself with good people. And that goes into the change that me and you talking about.
Right.
Right? Like that's the important piece. Like your personal change is just as important as the change around you. You know, like because sometimes if you change within yourself, sometimes you can change the stuff that's around you too. Like if me and you are like good friends and I start changing, right? And when I say change, I mean improve. I'm not saying like I'm changing, I'm acting, oh, you're acting different. No, I'm improving. If you start seeing my improvement, what does that do for you?
I think it makes me feel like the type of way like, oh, you're switching up on me.
For most people, they would say, yeah, you switching up on me.
But, like, yeah, I give a that space.
But if you see me changing for the better and you hanging around me and maybe you're not, maybe you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing and you see me changing for the better, what do you think you might do?
Try to improve with you.
Try to improve with me. So that's what I'm saying. Like if you do things differently, it could change the people around you. But it starts within the self first. So like I said, if you go to that new school, you got to change first and then the things around you will change. You know what I mean? Like, but it starts with you, Tim. Like I told you before, don't ever let nobody tell you any different. You are going to be just fine. You're going to make it. I don't care what anybody's ever told you. Do you understand that? Like, I don't care when, how, for whatever reason, you can get in as much trouble as possible. Do not accept anybody telling you you're not gonna be something. Ever. But with that has to come some change. Right?
Yeah.
You ever heard of the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again, but expecting new results. And sometimes when you do the same things over and over
It's like playing
again,
basketball, but you're doing the same thing, but you're just.
yeah, you gotta work. You gotta change things up, and then you get new results. So when you change, when you make those adjustments and you change, you're gonna see new things happening for you. You know, and the new school might be the start to you making change. You know, we got 2 weeks left here. You just gotta finish it out. Finish it out and then see what happens moving into
Like,
next.
they want me to 100% restrictions from every, like, social life you get in school.
Yeah. Okay, you're on 100% restriction. That's your circumstance. You gotta do what?
Get better.
Get better, but starts with an A. Just talked about it.
What's that one word you said?
Adjust.
Adjust.
Adjust. You on 100% restriction. Okay, cool. I'm on it. Adjust. Because if you adjust and you own it, then you can change it. And then you can get off of it. Right now, your attitude right now is you on 100% restriction. You taking a whole totally different approach. You taking the negative side to it. Instead of showing them why you shouldn't be on restriction, you're giving them every reason to keep you on it. You gotta adjust, big guy. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta adjust.
Why would they have, what school has restrictions from?
I mean, there are schools that have it. This ain't the only school with restrictions.
I mean, like, 2-minute drill.
Yeah, but that's the way here. You go to Franklin. Franklin might not have a 2-minute drill. They might just have strictly detention. So you might be after school. You might.
I'm like, well, I can take after, like, I can just, like, take
But
the
I'm
detention,
just-
But, like, why you gotta take the hallways, my lunch, like, from me, like,
Yeah, that's the Hopkins way.
that's so dumb.
It's the Hopkins way.
In
man.
elementary, I got like I used like in 5th grade I used to get in trouble a lot. 6th grade I changed up, but no 3rd grade I used to get in trouble a lot. No 4th grade I used to get in trouble a lot. You never had no.
What school are you at?
Take
That's the Tanglin way. Where you at now?
yeah.
That's the North way. You go to Franklin. Franklin gonna have their way. You get to the high school gonna have their way.
I'm coming back to the high school in 10th grade though.
So you want to be in Hopkins. You just
I
don't want to
do.
be here.
I just can't be in Montreal.
I feel you.
My reputation's too bad here.
So let's get to that. Why is your reputation bad here? Why do you think?
I could I'm gonna own up to like at least like 5 things I do.
Talk to me.
I talk my shit.
You're a what?
I talk my crap. I talk.
Thank you.
Talking about it, I think too highly of myself, which I need to like. You was always love yourself, but you can't like. Cause I love myself like a lot. Like I think about like.
Now hold on. I want to jump in. I'm gonna jump in on each point. So one, you think too highly of yourself. I'm not necessarily gonna say that's a bad thing.
It's not bad, but like people like you remember when Randy said
Yeah.
like when we was in here.
Mhm.